Bloody hell! Content is explicit. You have been warned. Welcome. You are listening to Bewitched Banter with two best friends.
One skeptical looking at you, Amy.
And our woo-woo chick, Krista.
Talk about the universe, galaxies, magical things, you know.
Yeah. You know, all that shit.
But really, we do talk about the spooky, spiritual, some wacky religions, cults, the paranormal, and sometimes a little true crime.
And unfortunately, I do bring us back to Earth because sometimes you don't want to be here and talk about how the science community debunks most of what we talk about.
Well, Amy needs to get right with the universe, y'all. I can't tell you enough.
Well, today, again, Bewitched Banter, here we are, and I'm probably going to bring us back down to the sad world, I guess.
Oh, man. Wah, wah.
But I want to start with a little song. Isn't it ironic? Alanis Morissette.
Yes! Don't you think?
Yes, because I think a lot of what we'll be talking about today is ironic, probably infuriating for half the population. I don't know. Sorry. Lately, I'm just on this kick of shitting on religion, and I just can't stop.
Hey.
The force can't be stopped here.
She needs not a laxative, the opposite of a laxative.
You gave me a platform, and here I am to shit on most organized religion. So, again, sorry for those folks. But basically, I'm talking about how women are seen as being impure, and they're treated differently for menstruating. For menstruating. You know that thing I do once a month? Menstruating.
Our monthly womb cycle.
Yes. The reason I started out with one of my favorite songs, isn't it a little ironic?
A little too ironic.
Don't you think? 1,000,000 spoons, and all you need is a knife to stab your husband. Moving on. The reason I said is ironic because even though religion around the world is interwoven with teachings of how women are inferior to men, women actually tend to identify more as members of spiritual or religious organizations.
Hey.
Basically, the whole theme of today's episode is going to be fuck God. Just kidding. That's not really the whole theme. It's going to be, but fuck organized religion.
Yes.
And we know this was because it was created by men. And it's probably a control tactic.
Probably.
Let's even think about who the most powerful and well-known religious leaders are. Who are they? They're men. It comes to mind for me is Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, Sutar,
Buddha,
Gautama. God is often thought of as a man. So think about the pronoun he.
I think God is a woman. And what if she is? I think that's fucking badass.
So I do have some numbers and some statistics to throw at you. But in the U.S., 60% of women versus 47% of men consider themselves to be very religious.
Wow.
I thought this was really interesting. In the recent years, U.S. churches are so desperate to get more male followers that they've actually changed their decor, music, and worship styles because more women are just prone to be religious. And I think there's a lot of different reasons. We even in the cults episode, we talked about how women are more social creatures, want to be part of society.
And men are probably just so indignant. They're fuck, somebody else is higher than thou or than me, right? They're so up their own asses.
Who, men?
Men, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if that's the reason being, but maybe. And around the world, more women identify with a faith. So 84% of women around the world versus 79%.
Wow.
So that number seems small, right? 84% compared to 79%. But when you break it down, it's estimated that 97 million more women claim a religious affiliation than men. And the only time that this isn't the case is when it's the Muslim faith. So Muslim women and men tend to identify as being religious the same amount. And Muslim men are actually more likely to attend weekly religious services.
Okay.
I will put on my psychologist hat. I'm not a therapist, thank God. Because I would not be able to control my facial expressions.
We talked about this before because she's been my therapist for the last 2 years.
Hey, I've been a damn good one.
It's a great one, but yeah, she, expressions
girl,
would
you
be,
owe me a lifetime of
I
therapy.
do. I really do.
Anytime I'm sad, I'm like, I should call Krista.
You can at 24/7 hotline.
Yeah, I was like, this bitch owes me.
Direct line in, baby. Anytime.
Captain Obvious. Society is sexist, and this is all created through
What?
larger. No. What?
No motherfucking way.
Never. These sexist attitudes are developed through larger belief systems, and one of the biggest culprits is religion. And so it's one of the largest social institutions, and it creates people's value system.
Yep.
And this is where sexist ideas become propagated, and this is where women and men and children learn that we're not equal individuals. United Nations actually got together and had a meeting about how religion is like almost, how do we tackle this? How do we make organized religions not create more sexist roots in our society?
Yeah, it's a deep problem to tackle.
Yes. So I'm just laughing because I chose the most serious topic.
Yeah, it's okay. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, here we are. Again, bringing you light and joy.
However, last night was a full moon, and I think our womb cycles are, you tell me if I'm wrong, my sister could too, but are tied to the cycles of the moon, obviously monthly periods, etc. But there's something to that, I think.
I don't know. I'm bleeding right now. That's all I can tell you.
I will be soon. And I did fucking
I don't
3
think people
times
want to
last month.
hear this, do they?
Who gives a fuck? It's natural. Deal with it.
True. Okay, but let me get back to the subject.
Yes.
So this is usually endorsed through what's called benevolent sexism. Have you ever heard of this term before?
No, and I don't like the way it's sounding.
It's really interesting. So benevolent sexism is a subtler form of sexism and is expressed in a seemingly positive way. Hold on with me. I have several examples, okay?
Great.
It is expressed by emphasizing men's role to protect and provide for women by putting them on a pedestal in a chivalrous way. This protection and love is granted in exchange for women's compliance to traditional gender roles. Okay.
Bitch. Good luck.
So if we're still confused, here are some examples that help everyone have a deeper understanding.
Disney. All I gotta say. The end. Disney, every plot of every goddamn Disney princess movie. Anyway.
Well, why do they kill off every mother too? I'm like, that's kind of sad. As you watch it, like when you're older, you're like Bambi, Lion King.
Bambi was really fucking sad.
They love killing the parents.
They
do. They get like wet for it.
They do.
Okay, but I'm gonna get into this.
Okay.
So some of these seem like harmless remarks, but they also have damaging impact to women who are trying to grow their careers, be badass. You know. Okay, so number 1, women have motherly, nurturing instincts. Okay, so we know women tend to take less leadership roles, lower paying jobs, and this kind of suggests that women should be the ones at home taking care of the kids and stepping up for the parenting duties.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Okay, example number 2. How pissed off am I going to get Krista today? That's a good question.
I think I'm already, like, the meter's, like, it's already encroaching, so here we go.
Women are more compassionate. This idea can work against women who tend to be assertive, and when they are a leader and act like this, they can be seen as bossy or as a bitch.
Yep, that's the narrative. Bossy
Heaven
bitch.
forbid you speak your mind. 3, women are just more beautiful. Again,
I mean, duh.
Women being objectified and defined by their beauty.
I'm kind of okay with that.
I'm not. My value should not boil down to what I look like or the size of my body or...
True. But
you are totally not okay with that.
I love beauty. So I'm a little vain.
Oh my God. That's the girl who didn't shower for like 5 days.
Hey, look at me today. I'm all dolled up. No, I see what you're saying. It is very detrimental to put beauty as the first standard.
Well,
absolutely.
I think a classic example of this, why is it okay when men are a little overweight? It's the dad bod. It's hot. It's cute. But heaven forbid, like a woman puts on weight. There's no cute term for that. So I think, like, yeah, all joking aside.
What's up? Hello. That's me right now. But yeah, you're right.
I know men like my husband said this, like we're insecure about things. But I think for women, it's been drilled in our brain so much. Like even like weight. Like I can't imagine a day where I don't think about my weight. And I don't
or look at ourselves and not body shame something.
Okay, 4, women are more intuitive. This can promote the belief that women are more or less likely to rely on rational thought.
Oh, that's a tricky little bugger.
So it's benevolent because it seems positive, but then
Non-implement.
also there's like underlying water of how it could also be negative.
Yeah, non-implement, essentially. Yeah. Oh, wow.
And this might strike a chord for you.
Oh, boy. Bracing
Women
myself.
are neater. It perpetuates the idea that women should be the one at home doing the chores and keeping the house clean. Or towing away their ex-husband's ugly ass car that sat there for 2 years broken down.
And yet I was the one who should have kept the house up and kept myself up. Ooh, yes,
I told you.
Ding, ding, ding.
I got Krista pissed off today.
Ooh, Lord. Okay, moving on, because that's a whole nother bag of wax.
Yeah.
Worms, whatever the fuck.
And religious texts basically spout and have several notions on how women are inferior to men, mentally, morally, and spiritually.
Oh, I think I told you this story. Sorry, it's quick getting to when we were writing when we got our Catholic wedding. We had to choose a few passages for the priest, and one of them did say, and actually he was actually on my side, and we were laughing as shit, like bawling together in his dad's kitchen when it said, "And thy woman shall be subservient to thine husband."
What?
There was something in a text, and we both just looked at each other and just were like, "Scratch that one," and just like dying laughing.
That is such fucking horseshit.
Still to this day, to your point, it's still written in marriage vows in the Catholic Church.
So anyway, I have 5 sexist Bible quotes. I'm sure there's endless ones, but I will start with 5. Okay, you ready for them?
Yes.
1, quote, and everything on which she lies during her menstrual impurity shall be unclean. Everything also on which she sits shall be unclean. Leviticus, is that how you say it? 15,
Leviticus.
20. Okay. AKA dickhead. 15, 20.
Also, fuck you. I'm going to bleed where I want, when I want, wherever I want. Leviticus.
Okay, 2. This shows that women aren't equal. It's another Bible quote. I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man. Rather, she is to remain quiet.
Oh, that's a trigger.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
This one is disgusting. It actually suggests women should marry their rapists. You ready for it?
God, I'm already so fucking triggered at so many levels.
Well,
Go for it.
2 of them. Okay, so the first one, if there's a young woman, a virgin already engaged to be married, and a man meets her in the town and lies with her, you shall stone them to death. The young woman because she did not cry for help, and the man because he violated his neighbor's wife.
No, fucking no. Put your dick.
Oh, I'm not finished.
Put your dick away, homie, in the middle of that fucking alley. Okay?
If the woman is not engaged, the man who lay with her shall give her 50 shekels of silver to the young woman's father, and she shall become his wife.
No.
So no one talks about this shit. Okay, are we ready to move on?
Fuck, I guess. You need
time to process?
Yes.
4. But if this thing...
fuck, I thought we were done. Okay.
But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die.
Murder her, because God forbid she had premarital sex.
And here's another one, and it explains how women are property of men. Wives, submit yourself unto your husbands as unto the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church.
That was similar to the passage I mentioned. Yeah, and I was like, fuck no, ain't nobody being quiet.
So, thinking about this, and we probably have told this story before in the podcast, but I think me and Krista have this moment where we knew we were going to be friends. We were at an ex-friend, because she is an ex, she sucks, wedding, and her... I'm bashing on her. I got
still a frog in my throat.
I'm a little vengeful today, I guess. But
it hurt you. It hurt you.
So we were at her wedding, and her dad got up to speak, and he literally, his speech was about how he trained her to be a good wife.
Verbatim.
And me and Krista were looking at each other.
Literally like,
we didn't even know each other that well at the point where we're like, what the hell are we listening to? Okay, now I'm getting to the bloody subject, pun intended. Taboos about menstruation is generally universal. However, in traditional societies, think of the ones that banish women from society. Women find this to be a time when sometimes they actually surprisingly find it as a time where they're like safe and empowered. And they benefit.
Oh, that makes sense. When you're away from your captor or rapist, yeah.
Or even just your horrible husband.
Right.
And they benefit this from like not having to deal with men.
My mom once said a long time ago, a little traumatic for her to tell me because I'm her daughter, but like, fuck man, I could just fucking live alone the rest of my life. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. She doesn't use the F word, so I'm embellishing here, but she was like, yeah, basically like, I don't need it. And I was like, okay, that's my dad, but
yeah, you're like, that's not what you want to hear from your mom. Like, I get the sentiment, but yeah. I don't want to hear that from my mom.
Right.
The average woman will menstruate about a quarter of her fertile life. Is that crazy?
That's not that long. I feel like it should be longer.
Oh, hell no.
And no, I don't want my period all that much, but like
all that much. I don't want it.
I actually do. This is the woo-woo in me, but like back in the day,
drink your blood.
Ew. Okay, abso-fucking-lutely
I knew it.
Oh, that actually grosses me out. No, I feel like a sense of more connectedness when I'm menstruating.
That is really far-fetched.
I just personally do. I don't love the back pain or the bloating.
What do you feel connected to?
The moon, the earth, the universe, womanhood. But maybe that's what they want me to think. I don't fucking know. But
that's a great way to look at it in a positive spin, because that's not what I'm thinking when I have it.
But I also used to be so woo-woo that like I didn't want to not get my period. And my sister would give me shit. She's like, don't be that person. But I do want to know that.
What does that have to do with being woo-woo?
Because a lot of her patients that are pretty granola, like, are all about like using birth control methods that don't stop your period. So like that was me for a while. And she's like,
oh, so you were not wanting it because of medication purposes, I guess.
Right. And so I wanted to be on some type of medication that would still keep the flow, but I couldn't.
Oh, it doesn't seem natural to me though, not to. That's the thing.
That's my point.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's woo-woo. I just think that to me, I'm like, something seems off if I'm taking a medication that stops me from having that experience, because I feel like that's nature. And I feel like, what is that drug doing to me that I might not know?
That's my point.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know if that's woo-woo. I think that's just like, this isn't natural.
Can we get that on the record?
Yeah, we have it. Okay, but I'm basically going to cover different beliefs from varying religions when it comes to the period, okay?
Okay.
So first, we're going to start with Judaism.
Okay.
So in the Torah, it states, quote, anyone who touches her will be unclean until evening. Traditional Judaism views all human behavior as part of something that needs to follow religious law. Mm-hmm. It is believed that a couple can have a sexual life that is considered holy if they follow the religious laws. A woman that is menstruating is called nida. The Torah outlaws sex when a woman is bleeding. Orthodox Jews prohibit women and men from even touching each other or passing things to each other.
Wow.
During their period.
Oh, I'm sorry. Woo, you're going to get period cooties?
Yeah, are you scared? You're scared? Most branches of the Jewish faith don't follow this rule, but those are some kind of extreme branches. Christianity, surprisingly, didn't have any specific rules in regards to menstruation.
Wow, that is kind of surprising.
I know. I'm like, wow, I can't shit on them today.
Other religions today.
I still will, actually. The Eastern Orthodox Church advises women not to participate in communion. The Oriental Orthodox Christian women are not allowed to attend church while they're bleeding. Christianity does have a history of menstrual taboos. Women who are menstruating were perceived as dangerous. And they used to have like a few social restrictions they would place on women. Oh, this is really crazy. So in 1878, in a British medical journal, it was believed that women who were menstruating could cause bacon to deteriorate and rot away. It was literally published.
Hey, that's comical. That's
what
wonderful.
The hell? This bacon got to do with this?
What the fuck? Don't ruin bacon for us. We need to eat that while we're menstruating, fellas, if you didn't know. Thank you.
The history of menstrual taboos actually is one of the main contributing factors to why women don't hold leadership positions in the Christian faith.
Not surprised. Not surprised. Not surprised. Not surprised.
So we all know Adam and Eve. Eve is that sinful bitch that eats the apple when God told her not to.
God forbid a woman does something of her own autonomy.
This is actually shapes why people believe that women need to suffer through a painful, like, giving birth. In the book of Genesis, God told Eve, I shall give you intense pain in childbearing. You will give birth to your children in pain. So it's actually a thought that God created the period as part of the curse he placed on Eve. And it's a collective punishment for all women for the sins of Eve.
Well, that's ironic because God, you gave us the power to bear the fucking human race. So fuck you. Oh, wow. Okay, yep, slamming the glass here in a second. I can't. Okay.
Islam. Women are excused from praying. There's a set of rules created while they're bleeding. They're not allowed to fast. Leftover fast of Ramadan will need to be completed on different days.
So they still have to fast even though they don't have the fast? That's bullshit.
I guess. I would, and it's
probably better read those fucking fine prints.
I've been bleeding all the time because I don't want to fast. I want to eat.
I'm trying to eat.
I'm on my period.
That's in a weird way, like kind of nice because when I'm on my period, I want to fucking eat.
Well, I was reading something about like how many calories you should consume, and they were saying women when they're on their period should consume a little bit more.
Check.
After 7 or whatever days of the woman bleeding, women are required to take part in ghusl, which is a ritual purification that will allow them to pray again. This is required of both partners after they had sex. Their traditional Quran forbids women to have sex while they're on their period. However, you get a little touchy-feely. Feel your little boob, feel a little butt, squeeze a little butt
blue
cheek.
balls in return for calling me dirty, bitch.
Okay, this next line is hilarious.
You call me dirty? Well, here's some motherfucking blue balls, bitch.
So wait for this. If a man discovers, I don't know where I found this, but it was in some academic thing. If a man discovers that his wife is on period during sex, then he must immediately withdraw.
I can't.
That would be a great excuse if you're like with a hookup. And like,
oh my God, it would.
And it's like
immediately
going terribly, and you're like, I just want to stop. You'd be like, I'm on my period. Withdraw immediately, please.
It does kind of work sometimes, but anyway.
I know, but they'd be out right away for religious purposes.
Oh, right. I can just say I'm Muslim. Bye. You must withdraw.
Okay, so now we gotta talk about Buddhism. And
I'm surprised they have things against women, to be honest. But I don't know. I guess all monks are men, huh? All right. Well, do tell.
That is true. We should talk about that sometime. In certain Japanese branches of Buddhism, menstruating women are forbidden to enter a temple. During menstruation, certain branches forbid women to enter temples or shrines, and even their husbands and other men who live in the same house as them are not allowed to enter.
Oh, fuck off.
I mean, again, that sounds like a blessing. I can stay home, watch my Netflix.
Say bye, like cuddle up with dog.
You don't want me there? Fine. I'll just
me and my popcorn and Ella.
I'll have a good old time. Oh, damn! I can stay out late on a Saturday night and get crazy. 'Cause I don't have to go to temple. I don't know if they go on Sundays, but still, you get my point.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to be talking about Hinduism, and I'm going to talk about how, like, the mythology behind it, why they think women have a period to begin with, okay?
Okay.
Lord Indra, he sounds kind of bitchy, decided to sever the head of a god I can't pronounce. So Lord Indra severed the head, cut the head off of someone I can't pronounce. The god I can't pronounce is now cursed with another disease or curse I can't pronounce. Like, basically, the whole theme is I can't pronounce shit. But he got rid of and then the god who is cursed got rid of the curse by distributing it amongst land, water, tree, and women. And that is how women is believed to have their period and gain the ability to give birth.
Okay.
So
fable territory again, like all of this, but yes.
So in Hinduism, menstruation is not a sign of not only physical but spiritual impurity.
Oh, fuck off! I was just saying the opposite. I feel more connected when I'm on my period. So,
menstruating woman is forbidden to enter Hindu temples and her own goddamn kitchen.
Well, then cook for me, bitch. You
I-
cook tonight.
I don't want.
If I can't cook, then fuck you. You cook. You know what I'm saying?
I want to cook
You
my
do
own
it.
meal.
You know? Don't
She's
get me started.
not.
That's another triggering. Next.
This whole episode.
Woo.
She's not to sleep during the daytime, bathe, have sex, touch or other living human beings. I don't know if she's going to be touching dead ones either. Or
Oh, damn. That got dark real quick.
or speak loudly. So basically, we're in trouble. Sometimes, certain sects, they're banished to live in a menstrual hut.
Which again might be kind of nice because fuck you. Don't touch me.
Especially if you're not going to let me in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Move, bitch. Okay, I'm getting Uber Eats all week then.
Yeah. You fucking pay for it too.
Yeah.
And you deliver your damn selves. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. We have a $300 bill from Uber Eats. You didn't let me in the kitchen. That's your fault.
That's your fault. You're paying up, buddy. Vishrodu.
Vishrodu, angry guy. Now, they're so nice in the Hindu religion. No purification ritual is necessary.
Oh,
yay.
Gee, thank you.
Thanks. So now I'm going to actually talk about some positive shit and leave us on a happy note. Since I had Krista's anger at a all full-time
out the
high.
gate.
But I want to highlight some groups and cultures that see having your period in a more positive light.
Yay.
A little tidbit. Some of these cultures do lean on seeing things in a more positive light because some of these cultures, women tend to have their period less, and that's because they're more frequently pregnant or they're breastfeeding for longer. So, I mean, that's not that positive, but here we are. So let's talk about one group that does see periods in a more positive light. So we have the tribe. It's a native tribe from the northwest coast of the U.S.,
Okay.
and it's called Yurok. And they view the period as a time when women can purify themselves. And because so many women live in close proximity in this tribe, a lot of the women have their, as we all know, your periods sync. So it's pretty common. That
cool. I think it's so, I don't know why. I just think it makes you feel part of a sisterhood. No,
I think it's cool too. Because it shows you how like in tune we are with the world.
We're motherfucking powerful beings. Thank you very much. Women are amazing. I wish I liked vagina more, but I'm distracted, as we know.
Yeah, we don't need a disclaimer for that one. But so women will partake in a series of rituals during their cycle and claim that they feel more spiritually aligned during this time.
Yes, what I say.
Similar to you.
Yes.
And then in the South Pacific, we have the women of Uluthi. Women who women, they still go to a hut. Rather than feeling like they're being banished and outcast, women have described it as a party almost. Cool. Which is vastly different. And they said women who are breastfeeding will come and join them and they'll bring their kids. And it's just like got a party atmosphere.
This is ladies' night. Oh, what a night.
And then in some parts of Ghana, girls will sit under a beautiful ceremonial umbrella.
Pretty.
Yeah. And when they start their period, family members and loved ones will visit the girls and give them gifts.
I'm moving to Ghana. See you later.
And women have described it as like they felt like queens during this time.
See ya. Bye, America.
And now my new favorite religion, other than Satanism, from my research, is Sikhism.
Okay.
And it's the only religion, or I should say one of the few, because maybe there are another one, but it kept coming up in my search that it's the one religion that doesn't see periods as being impure or dirty.
Cool.
According to the Sikhism founder Guru Nanak, a mother's blood is necessary for human life and therefore is sacred rather than impure.
Damn right.
It's one of the few religions where scriptures and the entire faith is based on gender equality.
Fuck yes.
Yes. So I feel like we should do a whole episode because I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I've heard of it, but I don't have any idea what it is, what part of the world it's prominent in. None of its tenets or nothing.
Sikhism was started in the Punjab area, which modern day is part of India and Pakistan. It started because the Sikhs were sick of people translating like the holy scriptures as a motive to start wars.
Wow, I like these folks.
The first gurus of the Sikh faith emphasized the power and beauty of menstruation along with childbirth.
Wow. Maybe I'll become the Sikh if I'm allowed.
You're going to seek out the Sikh?
Oh, nice one. But where's the drum roll?
Also, in the Sikh faith, they do not condemn gay people, and diverse sexualities and gender identifications actually not only accepted but celebrated as well.
Fuck yes.
So that
they seem quite more enlightened.
Yes. And I wanted to now do a toot toot beep beep.
Yay!
This is where we
toot toot beep beep
celebrate not only women but sometimes men if they cut the list.
It's a hard list to make as a male species.
But I have one I prepared for today's episode, and I thought it'd be perfect.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm going to be celebrating Justice Aisha Malik. She made history this past year in 2022 by becoming the first female to be nominated to the Supreme Court in January in Pakistan.
Hell yes.
She ran once the year before, I believe, or it doesn't really matter, but she lost, and so she stuck with it, ran again, and now she sits along 16 male colleagues as the first female Supreme Court leader, and she recently advocated and outlawed a virginity test that was used on women who came forward and said they were raped and sexually assaulted. So that is no longer allowed in that country.
Good for her.
So that's
that's a great one.
Toot toot beep beep. What's yours?
Mine's really lame because we're talking about periods. So I'm going to shout out my gyno, Dr. Eugenie, another Dr. E gyno, but not my sister. She is fabulous. And I'll never forget, even when I was married, I think she came to me and said, or in one of our first appointments, she just looked at me and goes, all right, what are we going to do to make sure you don't get pregnant? And I was like, fuck yes, Dr. Eugenie. And she's also, very spiritually minded as well, but very pro-rights. And when the Roe thing came down, I had an appointment with her, actually my annual well woman, and I was asking her, like, how do you feel about this? And she's like, they're just trying to take everything away from us. I just commend her for practicing any type of women's healthcare in this state. Thank you, Dr. Eugenie.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. If you're on your period, we hope you don't have too many cramps. You're feeling all right?
Well, you are, aren't you?
Not anymore.
Oh, it just ended. Hence the Diva Cup smell.
Hey. Okay, on that note, we're saying goodbye.
TMI. Peace be witches.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on Instagram or bewitchedbanter.com. Suggestions for the show? Email us at bewitchedbanter@gmail.com. Credits, music Phantom Fun by Jonathan Boyle from premiumbeat.com. Podcast edited and produced by Krista Hinz and Amy Holt. As always, if you enjoyed, please rate, review, and subscribe.